Good morning, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. Today we are going to be unboxing yet more succulents because I have some new projects planned for 2025. Well, it is Friday, and I was supposed to be going on a trip with some girlfriends up to Tahoe this weekend, but I'm sick, and so I will not be joining them, at least not today, maybe tomorrow. But considering I have a fever right now, I seriously doubt it'll be tomorrow. Anyway, I ordered some more succulents because I decided I'm going to start offering those not tiny necessarily, but different sizes, small, medium, large, maybe, succulent gardens for customers. And so I have a box here of succulents from Mountain Crest Gardens, and I'm excited to open it and see what's inside. So we are in my kitchen, and hopefully I won't make a huge mess. I'm going to try to be careful. Mountain Crest Gardens always does an amazing job with their packing. Everything is packed very, very well. There's not a whole lot of spillage of soil, etc. Some of that just comes down to how the package itself is handled in the mail, but their packing is very good. All right. This box says 20 special. It's crazy because I literally ordered these just a few days ago, but it was at night and I don't remember what I ordered. So let's see. This is great packing material to save. I think it's going to be easier to get these out if I tear the box down the side. Yeah, okay, so I still need to clean off a lot of the paper. I think you'll be able to get a good idea. These are also very nicely moist, so I don't think they're going to need water right away. There's still a little bit of paper on these, but you can see this variety here. Let's see what we've got. I don't see labels in here. Okay, I don't know what these varieties are in this 20 pack because there are no labels, but that's okay. So we've got 4 of each of these. And I mostly selected based on color because I want I want these arrangements to be really colorful, not monochromatic. And this one's an Echeveria. I know that. These two, which are really, really cool. I think this is a Crassula. We've got this one, which is super soft. It almost feels like moss. Okay, and then I ordered some from their collections that they had considered unusual. And these are just individual ones. And they do have tags. So this one is a Graptivaria called Bashful. Graptivaria, I like, they tend to be kind of like tongues, which is what I think of when I think of a Graptivaria. Some of them are really wide. They're really cool looking. This is an Echeveria. This one's called Dark Moon, and I thought that was just stunning. It's a beautiful color. Then here we have a sempervivum called Griggs Surprise, And in the bigger version, so as this guy gets bigger, it's going to be really, really cool. Those red colors on the end get even more vibrant. Okay, and then we have a Necaveria Lola. This is a really lovely one. It gets beautiful blooms on it. And then another Echeveria, and this one called Crinoline. Yep, Crinoline Ruffles. Check that out. Really, really cool. Now some of these lower leaves I'm just going to go on and pull off when I go to plant it because they're kind of at the end of their lifespan, but the middle, I just love that ruffled texture. Okay, and then before we open the assorted 50 pack, I got an aloe I could not resist. This one's called Firecracker. How cool is that? And it is highly textured, so super bumpy. Kind of reminds me of crab claws, actually, when you look closely at it. So this, I'm saving for myself. It's going to get potted up into a little bit bigger pot, and I'd like to grow it nice and big. Okay, let's move on to this assorted 50 pack. It's so funny to think you're fitting 50 in a box this small. Oh, I highly recommend Mountain Crest Gardens. They ship very quickly, and they just have an amazing selection. So this is interesting. These are unpotted, which I did not realize, but they're ready to go because they're all healed over. So let me lay these out in a way that makes sense, and then we can take a look at them. So clearly ordering late at night and not paying attention to what you're ordering has consequences, but I'm actually very happy with this. So I thought that I had ordered potted succulents, but this is a cuttings collection, and there are some gorgeous, gorgeous things in here. So it's everything from echeverias to crassulas, and then some really cool stuff like these. I have no idea what those are. I'll have to look them up. But all of these are healed over. They are ready for potting up. And so my plan, I already have a tray out in the greenhouse right now that has a whole bunch of cuttings on it. And they are starting, they're going to take their time, but they're going to form roots. So I will just enlarge that tray and stick all these guys in. Basically, they're just going to pop into the soil, and I might have to remove some lower leaves. Like this one will be a separate cutting. I'll pull that off and put it in by itself because you want about an inch in the soil. We will keep that soil damp, and then over the next 4 to 6 weeks, they will all form roots and they can get potted up into bigger projects. Now, because these are healed over, I can just put them in soil and go from there. But I do like to have a root system because I don't know when I'm going to use these. And so it's kind of nice to have them have roots because that's easier for them to take up water and maintain their temperature and nutrients and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go on and take these out to the greenhouse, and we'll spread them in that tray, get them all kind of settled in, and then they'll be good to go for a couple of weeks until they start to make roots, and then we can start putting these into small, medium, and large collections for customers. So let's head out to the greenhouse and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the tray I already have set up. It's a tray with no holes in the bottom. It's got cactus and succulent mix in here, and it is damp. Not wet, but damp. And then these are all cuttings that I took from other succulents that I had that were just kind of ragged. And I've set them in. They will eventually form roots. And so now all we need to do is just transfer all of these into this tray and do the same thing. Then we'll have a tray full of succulents that will eventually root, but in the meantime, I can use them. Some of the cuttings I took the other day, I put in here already. These are not rooted. I just stuck them in the soil, just like we're going to do. So you can do either or. It doesn't have to have a root ball for you to plant it, but I find that it does better if it has a root ball, just because it's already established way of getting water and all that kind of stuff. And generally, succulents at this stage without roots need more water than rooted ones do. So I have to water that little section of that container frequently, like every other day, even though it's cold outside, to make sure that those particular succulents get water, whereas the rest of the container can go a month or more without needing water. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys set in the tray, and then we're gonna be all set. So here are most of them. All the varieties here, the ones that are on the side here, I popped them up so that they could use the wall of the tray to help support themselves a little bit. You will notice that I took off leaves at the bottom so I could get an inch of the things in, except for the echeverias. These guys don't really have much there, but that's okay. They're in contact with soil. That's kind of all they need. I did need an extra tray. So I had this small one. We've got the remainder here. And then this is all, a lot of the leaves that I popped off that were still in good shape. These leaves potentially will form roots. I have that work for me about 50% of the time. It's a lot harder for them to root through the leaves, but they can. So this particular tray I have on a seedling heat mat for that reason. It will help those leaves. This tray I will have to keep even more moist than the other one because these guys, the leaves don't have anything. They just have what is in the leaf itself. So they'll have to stay more moist. But that project is done. Everything else in here is looking good, but starting to get really big. I mean, every night when I don't feel like coming back out to cover things up with trays to keep the mice off, I'm really glad that I do, because in the mornings I come and I'm like, oh, I still have everything. So things are growing. Everything's looking really good. I'm running out of space. This always happens. So I have taken a tray out to harden off. So it's still a little cooler outside than it is in the greenhouse, but these guys will be fine. This is all winter vegetables. Sorry. This is mesclun. This is all-star kale, which is looking amazing. And then look at all the roots. Like, this really needs to go into the garden. Beets. We've got perpetual spinach. This is collards, kohlrabi, and a baby radicchio blend. I do have 2 raised beds out there that are protected from gophers and rats. They can't get into them, so I'm going to go ahead and harden these off over the next couple of days. We have, let's see, today is Friday. We have 4 days of no rain coming up, of sun. It'll be cold, and in fact tomorrow morning it's going to be well below freezing, so I need to cover my citrus tonight. I give these guys a couple of hours every morning out here. They'll get some direct sun and a breeze, and of course these temperatures. And then probably on Tuesday, which is the day before the next rain showers come through, I will go ahead and get these guys planted, and I will put them under row cover, sort of for cold protection, but also just for so they don't get torrentially poured on. The row cover, they'll still get wet because rain will go through it, but it won't batter them. So yeah, so we'll do that because I need to make as much space as possible in there. And right now there's no space. So these are the first to go out into the garden, but I have a lot of work to do out in the front garden in order to prepare it for more planting. I have to eradicate the rat issue. I haven't seen any, and there's nothing for them to eat out there right now, but their holes are everywhere, so I know they're there. And then I need to kind of reset the beds, add some compost, put more wood chips in the pathways and stuff, but that's going to take some time because we've got too much water coming up soon. I'm grateful for the rain, but it makes it hard to get some work done. All right, you guys, that's gonna be it for me today. That's literally all I can handle. I'm gonna go sit down and edit this and then go to bed. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.